Hey everyone, thanks for joining us again. It's Randy Hatada here in Las Vegas representing Xpand Realty. We are here in fall and we're going to bring you the October update with our September numbers and break that down for you. Our goal today is to make it a lot quicker than normal. So I'd like to start by bringing you some value and giving you some nuggets that Las Vegas is offering you right now, or our federal government. And some of the benefits from the Southern Nevada Water Authority, SNWA, is that they are now offering you the highest amount of turf conversion rebate ever. What that means is that if you have sod, if you have grass, it has to be green. But if you have green grass and you convert it to desert landscaping or artificial turf, they are offering you $7 a square foot rebate. That's huge. Right now they're offering you $5, which is already the highest number they've ever offered. And they're adding a $2 bonus to that. They're pushing real hard to conserve Colorado River water. And so they're offering you $7 a square foot. That's huge, guys. So if you want to convert from grass to desert landscaping or turf, now's the time. Take advantage of that. And guess what? On average, turf installations, artificial turf installations are averaging about $7 a square foot. So there you go. You get a brand new free turf yard, front or back, if you're interested. The other nugget that I'd like to share with you is the federal solar tax credit is going away at the end of the year. And the rules to that is that you have to purchase brand new solar and have it installed with permitting by the end of the year to get your federal tax credit. If not, you may not get it next year and the years going forward unless they renew it. So right now, it's probably a good idea if you're thinking about buying solar to get it and have it installed by the end of the year. So there you go. All good for green energy. A couple big economic updates here in local Las Vegas is that Harry Reid International Airport is working really hard to get direct flights to Japan and other international countries to boost our economy. So that would be pretty fun, right? Direct flight to Japan, and especially with our dollar right now going really far, I'm sure gives you a reason to have fun and quick flight there and back. The other big news is that robot taxi service, specifically Amazon Zoox, you've probably seen them around the roads if you're here locally. They're official. The robot taxi service has started in Southern Nevada. So welcome robot cars or robot taxis. Whether you like it or not, they are here. So if you want to try it, go get them. Good luck. I'm going to jump right into another experience share this time. And, as a listing agent, we obviously use electronic lock boxes. And if you're not using electronic lock box, realtors, shame on you, because you should. Right? Because that's how you track in, out, and all the good stuff. But more importantly, we use SentryLock for our lockbox systems, and they are extra strong. Like, we came from Supra, which was super strong, to SentryLock, which is now really strong. And then now they have the newest version on steroids. And this thing is literally indestructible. I mean, I watched the demonstrations and their presentation, and that's why when I was on the board, we opted to move to this company to protect your homes. And I mean, these things are so strong. I can't tell you, like I've seen some crazy things happen. And a couple weeks ago, I had a listing and someone tried to break into this to enter the house. They used a crowbar. They were able to get this shackle off. Look at that. And this is steel, guys. You can't even, point is, it's really strong. And they got the shackle off, but they were never able to open this contraption and enter the house. So by the time that we found out about it, we already rekeyed the house, changed the lockbox, hid it in a different location to protect our owners. But that's how strong these things are. And so make sure that if you're listing a home, your realtor is using something like this, and better yet, the new ones that came out like this. I mean, these are quite indestructible. Again, go look it up, SentryLock lockboxes. Anyway, that was your quick tips for the day. Well, no further ado, we're gonna jump right into the numbers. I'm sure that's why you're here for. And there's good news for buyers and sellers. How about that? There's also bad news for buyers and sellers. How about that? But regardless, you're gonna get the news, you're gonna get the facts, and it won't be skewed because facts are facts. So units sold is at 1884, and that's up about 50 sales from last month. So market's getting busier. Sales are again improving. That's up 5% year over year. And I can feel it. I think this month in October is going to be probably stronger than last month, September. And so I think we're going to have even more sales this month. I can already feel the escrows opening personally, and I've been watching those numbers, and I've seen the viewership increase a little bit, and offers start coming in, both for buyers and then sellers, of course, receiving them. So that's a positive note for sellers. Now, the positive side for buyers, not so good for sellers, is that this is the second month in a row that we've seen a dip in single-family housing. And so we went from 480,000 median price point to 470,000 this past month. That is a $10,000 dip and about minus 2% year over year. So, not that far from last year, but, understand that we follow trends, and this is a trend worth following in the fact that 2 months we've had two dips. We went from the all-time market high at 485,000 2 months ago to 480,000 last month to 470,000 this month. And we, after we go over the numbers, you can kind of predict on your own where you think we're going, right? As far as new listings went down by 30 units or 30 less single family homes. It's still up 11% from last year. We have about 3,161 new listings hit the market last month. So new listings is slowing down, which is good for the market as well, right? Our median price or our median ask price has also gone down just a little bit to 524,000. Not enough to really move the needle or even talk about. But what is important to talk about is that sellers are still asking the median price point of 524. And the median sold price is 470. So there's a big gap between the two. That's a $54,000 gap, and something to be discussed with your realtor, and make sure you understand why there's a gap between the two, right? And for, again, units, for a median price point to go down, that just tells me there's been a lot of negotiations going on and obviously some price adjustments, but not that much, knowing that September numbers on ask price is almost the same as October numbers, right? So I think there's just more negotiations going on. Now, units available, we're at 7,500. We're up about 300 units available. That's 37% increase year over year, which equates to a 4-month supply of inventory, which is up 30% from last year, right? So the long story short is that sales price, our median price is down a little bit. Sales are up. Our month supply is up a little bit. And it is still considered a buyer's market for single family residents. 4-month supply is about a month over what I would say is a healthy market at a 3-month supply. So there's a lot of inventory to pick from. If you're on the buying side, there's a lot of listings to go through and figure out what you want. There's also a lot of good deals on brand new homes. Consult your realtor so you get the best options and pick the best one. And I'm sure you're expecting negotiations. As far as the sellers, same thing on your side of the fence. Just understand that there is a lot of competition right now. Hopefully the market continues to improve as far as units sold, but please understand that our median price has decreased, and that's a trend to follow, right? So stay abreast of what those trends are so you don't get left in the dust, or worse yet, your home getting dusty with no showings. Moving on to condos and townhomes, units sold is no change from month over month, 485 units sold. So pretty consistent there. That's down. It's basically equal to last year as well. So pretty consistent there again. Median price point follows single family residence, where it declined by $4,000 from $298,000 to $294,000. So headline, median price point for condos and townhomes are $294,000. New listings went down same as single families, by 34 units to 885 units. That's up 6% year over year. So same as the single families, less houses being listed in September. And we'll talk about inventory shortly. And the median price is $888,000. 288,888, and that's down 6.8% from last year, down 11,000 from last month. So sellers for condos and townhomes are starting to understand that they have to reduce to a more reasonable price to get the traction, to get the closings. So again, they came down about $11,000, and the actual median sold price came down $4,000 month over month. Units available is 2,605 units available. Again, condos and townhomes, that's up 50% year over year. You know, that's a lot. And then effective availability or month supply is at a 5.4 month supply. So there's a lot of condos and townhomes on the market right now. Sellers, you need to understand so you can make your adjustments. Buyers, there's a lot of options for you and probably a lot of wiggle room for negotiations with this kind of inventory if you're in the market for a condo or townhome. Not a lot of condos for sale as far as brand new, and if they are, they're on the higher price side because land and building expenses has gone up. So condos are mainly inventoried by resale. Townhomes, there's both resale and brand new, and there's pretty good deals on both sides of the fence. But I can guarantee you there's a ton of negotiations going on, and if I had a crystal ball, I would tell you that I expect condos and townhomes to adjust a little bit more. We will see where single family homes go as this market continues to get hotter and cooler by weather. Speaking of the weather, we're at about 70 degrees right now as far as this morning, and we'll roll into the 80s through the day and then back down into the 70s and less. So pretty perfect temperature if you ask me. I wish we could press pause because if you guys are local to Las Vegas, you probably know Halloween's on the way, and when Halloween hits, the temperature plummets and we get really cold. So, you know, if you're dressing up this Halloween, dress up warm. For you ladies, if you're dressing up in, you know, not that much material, be careful. Probably wear a jacket because it will be cold out there, I promise you. In fact, it rained and there was lightning and thunder last night right here in Summerlin. In fact, my son played baseball at Mesa Ridge, and he said that the lightning hit the houses behind him, and it was 10 feet from him, but he doesn't understand feet. Point being is that lightning and thunder, it's that time of year, and it's also going to be cold. So stay dry and stay warm. Now, back to the numbers. Again, you just heard all the facts. Those part, you know, the facts are the facts. My opinion, my educated guess on where we're headed is that, again, I think October will be a good month. I think there'll be more sales this October than last month. I think sales will continue to slide just a little bit unless we have help of something major like interest rates. We have a lot of geopolitical things going on still, including the government shutdown that has affected consumer confidence and continues to affect it. The job market is slowly picking up, but the strip has still been kind of slow, which affects the service industry and the hotel workers and casinos. So that has affected our locals and our tourism a lot, you know, and our Southern Nevada is really the number one industry is obviously gaming and casinos and resorts. But if you ever fly into Vegas or fly out of Vegas, take a look at our city. It's pretty crazy. I mean, it is a lot more than the strip, but we're still dependent on the strip. So with that, I hope things start picking up and we will see. Right now, we're in the holiday months. As you know, we have Thanksgiving coming up. We have Halloween coming up. We have Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Christmas Eve, Christmas, New Year's Eve, New Year's, all around the corner. And as far as a national trend or national cycle of real estate, it's usually a slow period in the fourth quarter. I think that's going to be a little different specifically here in Las Vegas. And my biggest theory, again, disclosure theory or hypothesis, is that we will be seeing a little bit of a snowball effect as long as interest rates stay consistent or dip. where we have a ton of buyers, you guys. So don't get the misconception that the news might be putting out. There's a lot of buyers. There's a lot of listings, but it's because there's a lot of buyers that have not pulled the trigger. Thus, we don't have as much accepted offers and closings. But the buyers are here, and to me, it's a matter of time before all of our buyers that are here start making decisions long term, which then affect the real estate market, both for rentals and for sales, because both markets are really slow right now. But I do think that the buyers and tenants can only hold out for so long before they have to make these decisions. And I am looking and hoping for a snowball effect, because it's healthy for both parties and our market, where sales will continue to grow as far as volume, and same as rentals, where people will start applying more and houses will start getting filled more. And a lot, again, has to do with consumer confidence. And I'm very confident in Las Vegas. I know we're going through some volatility. I would tell you a little different about our whole national real estate. But as far as Las Vegas or Southern Nevada, which means Las Vegas, North Las Vegas, and Henderson, I have high confidence that we're going to do okay and well. We can talk about foreclosures on another podcast, but you may be hearing that foreclosures are up and notice of defaults are up. Yes, they're up, but it really, really is a small, itty-bitty percentage of our listings right now. So it hasn't affected us that much. More importantly right now is that there's some new laws that came into play October 1st. There are some new probate laws and disclosures that came out. So I can give you a separate episode on that as well. And the biggest one is our residential rental market, which affects you as landlords if you're investing, or our property management arm at 5-Star Property Management. And right now, the rules are multiple, but the big ones that affect you is that total rent has to be displayed. And the law, the new assembly bill, is saying we have to disclose all mandatory or tenant mandatory recurring expenses, and that will be considered as rent. So you'll have base rent plus all these recurring mandatory fees, which could be trash and sewer. It could be the pool fee, if that's getting passed along. It could be the landscape fee, if that's getting passed along. These are just examples. And all these little fees have to be combined into rent, and we have to advertise the total rent. So my fear about all of this, and I can again make another podcast just on this, is that our rent is going to be looking very inflated. But just remember what I said is that there's base rent and then there's total rent. And when you back out the expenses, you'll be looking at true rent. But right now, our state is looking at basically all of it being rent. So when you compare our state to other states, our numbers are going to look super high in rentals. But now you're educated that it's because it's base rent plus all these recurring mandatory expenses, right, that inflate that number. So something to really understand, and there's reasons why that law is being pushed, and the reasons are, I guess, subjective, and my subjective view is, I'm going to save that for another episode. That way you have to tune in and watch. So again, I hope you guys are staying warm. I hope you guys are having a happy fall, and protect your guys selves from the rain as well, and the weather and the wind. Have a safe Halloween. And look out for those robot taxis, and go get your credits on landscape, and go get your credits on own solar. There you go. Anyways, if you're here and new to Vegas, welcome to Vegas. If you're thinking about coming to Vegas, we're happy to talk to you about what Vegas is all about, regardless if it's real estate related or not. We deal with relocation on a daily basis. Most of us have relocated from another state or even country for that matter, and we do have the experience based on that as well, so we can prepare you before you come. Remember, fail to plan, plan to fail. So plan ahead, use us. The consultation is free, and we're happy to help you. That's why we're putting all of this out for your needs and for your values. And I hope to see you next month, and I hope this helped you in some way. Take care, you guys.